Time for Today Food. This week it is all about discount dinners, family meals that are cheap, easy, and delicious, which is not the way I would describe Alton Brown. He's just about to get the recipe started.
Wait a second. I'm cheap, I'm easy, and I'm delicious. I think it's okay. I think we can go with that.
We mean that in the best possible ways. New cookbook is called Everyday Cook. Good morning.
Good morning.
Before we do our recipe, tell me about the book.
The book is kind of a culinary self-portrait. It is the everyday food that I cook every day if you were to come to my house and have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, this is what you would be having.
Okay, love it. And we're doing a chicken piccata recipe. Tell me about
it. Well, you know, piccata is a very well-known dish, and typically it is a pounded out chicken or veal finished with a sauce with lemon juice and capers. But I make mine cheaper because I'm actually technically pretty cheap, and I use chicken thighs instead. And chicken thighs are the perfect thing for this dish because actually they provide a lot more flavor, and they stand up to pounding a lot more than chicken breast. And let's face it, nobody actually likes chicken breast. That's my theory.
But we do it because we think we're going to get it's leaner. That's why we pick chicken breast.
You know, the difference between the breast and the thigh is actually not that much.
Okay.
And in the end, once the dish is put together, there's a lot more satisfaction here. But the big thing is, in order to build the sauce properly, you've got to have flour kind of embedded into the chicken. So I put mine inside of a freezer bag and just pound it. You don't have to pound it a lot, but this is a real part of what piccata is all about. Okay. And what that does is that's going to tenderize the chicken. It's going to give more surface area for browning, and above all, it's going to embed it with flour, which is actually going to build the sauce later on.
Is that a boneless thigh? Sorry, I'm obsessed with the thigh thing.
You know what? You can buy boneless thighs. I bone mine myself because it takes all of 2 seconds per to do that. So when it comes time to actually do the cooking, a little bit of oil, in a very hot pan, and a little bit of butter. Now, a lot of people think that the oil will keep the butter from burning. That's not really true. It's more about flavor and about not having as much of the milk solids from the butter. To brown this kind of thing, you really want to keep the pan kind of constantly moving. All right. So I usually do this in bunches. Like 3 pieces at a time. You kind of keep it moving over high heat. Americans are afraid of cooking with high heat, but it develops a lot of flavor, so you need to do that. After about 90 seconds, you flip them, and they end up looking like this. Since this is television, we're just going to magically cover that up and pretend that it never ever happened, and it didn't. So what we end up with is the browned thighs. You take those out. All right. Same pan. You add some 8 ounces of mushrooms, 3 tablespoons of capers. Capers, I don't know if you like capers.
I love capers.
Pickled flower blossom or flower bud from a Mediterranean plant. Once those are brown, the chicken goes back in. All right.
Can I show our tasters downstairs? We have a very discerning palate. What do you think?
Hoda just asked for ketchup.
Ketchup.
You know what? If you want to add ketchup, that's perfectly fine as long as you buy the book.
I don't want ketchup for this. The lemon is perfect.
This is important because this is a braised dish, which is kind of like a stew. We need to tenderize and build a sauce. I got 4 ounces of chicken broth with 3 ounces of white wine. All right, that goes in here. Now that is going to work with the flour that was already on the chicken to make a sauce. About 7 minutes later, this is what we've got.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so we've got it's very rich. All right,
and you do get a kind of almost a creamy looking sauce there.
Well, and you know what? You can finish that with butter again if you wanted to, but I don't. Number one, I think that this is enough sauce. To me, sauce that's on the plate at the end of the day is not really worth anything. I like it to be right on top of the meat and clinging to it.
I love it.
So this is what we end up with. That can be served on rice or pasta, or to tell you the truth, nothing at all, to be really honest. Hit it with a little parsley, and you've got a dish that, let's face it, that looks like a dinner party for about $4.
It does. It really does. It's beautiful. Alton Brown, thank you so much. Of course I want to take a bite. Are you kidding me?
Well, here, you know what?
Hand it over.
I want you to eat off of the one that's hot right here. So use the big fork.
Okay.
Here, cut
and
that
I'll mention that all the recipes are on today.com. I got to get some shrooms in there.
That's not a bite. What is that? That's like tiny. Well, by the way, mushrooms are really cheap and they add a real meaty flavor. So I can actually cut back on the chicken, add more mushrooms, and you get that umami, that savory flavor.
So good.
You're
Thank
pregnant.
You so much.
You'll eat anything.
No, that's not true.
You would eat absolutely anything.
That is not true.
They told me you were like eating these Twinkies out in the hall.
No, I know.
Does the baby really need that?
Exactly. You're coming back next hour. What are you going to cook?
I am. I'm going to make another weekday dish, which is actually going to be my chicken Parmesan meatballs.
Oh, I'll be back for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.